alongside Sam Mitchell, Dennis Scott. This one, Friday, felt a little extra special, you know, with the 9 games, because you knew James Harden was going to make his debut, and we've been waiting, maybe a little longer than we needed to, but we've been waiting for James Harden to make his debut. He does, and the Sixers beat the Timberwolves 133-102. What were the initial impressions of what you saw between Harden and Embiid together?
I knew James would be ready to play, right? We saw when he first got to Brooklyn how he played. We saw the first time when he got to Houston. The Hooper and James, Sam, I'm not worried about. After we get into game 10, 11, 12, as they start fighting and really starting to gel in chemistry, Sam, you know, where's that extra shooting? You know, as a coach, how do these guys really figure out the defensive end? Because if we really want to take this team serious of coming out of the East, it's going to be the defensive end. Offensively, I'm not worried about it. James Harden proved to us, Sam, many times he can get 40 and 15 to build. That's not the issue. The issue is in this game 7, on the road somewhere, possibly in, now in Philly, because now you're in Philly, are you going to get the kind of stops? Are you going to play the kind of basketball to come out the East? Offensively, everyone was talking about the last couple of days. I'm like, man, I'm not worried about the offense. I'm worried about when it's time to gel and trying to win this thing. Are they going to be ready, Sam?
3D, I agree with you, but look, if you look at James Harden defensively, Doc is going to have to tweak his defense a little bit for this reason. James Harden is still an excellent defender when he switches and takes bigger guys onto the post.
Right.
When big guys try to take him down to the post, he's been one of the best defenders in the league the last 3 or 4 years because he's strong and he knows how to defend guys down there. So to me, the offense, to your point, doesn't worry me. You know James Harden, Joel Embiid can score. The question for me is, if you watch the game tonight, Minnesota was trying to take the ball out of Joel Embiid's hand to James Harden's hand. They were running traps and double teaming at him. When they swing the ball, tonight it was Maxey. What are others going to do? That's my only question. When the game gets tight and you take the ball out of Joel Embiid and James Harden's hands, what are others going to do? We saw tonight 3 guys, Maxey, Joel Embiid, and James Harden. They dominate the Timberwolves tonight. They play excellent basketball. We know how great a player James Harden is. The question is, are they going to be healthy late into the playoffs? Because if you go back and look at their history, James Harden and Joel Embiid, the deeper they go into the playoffs, that's when the injury bug tends to bite them. And we know James Harden, that hamstring and other nagging injuries have bothered him in the playoffs for the last 2-3 years.
All of it, guys. Last year, when Milwaukee won the championship, Drew Holiday wasn't shooting the ball particularly well, but he was able to go to facilitating and rebounding and playing defense, do other things to help that team win, right?
Yep.
When P.J. Tucker took 0 shots and plays 36 minutes doing those intangibles. So tonight, when you look at Tobias Harris, he's 2 of 9 from the floor. So how does James Harden's leadership still make Tobias Harris feel like he's a part of the team? Because you know, they're going to need a third.
They're going to need him.
They're going to need someone else to score because we see when you win a championship, a third guy has to step up to help out.
And Tobias Harris is not, to your point, a P.J. Tucker type guy. He's not going to be that guy that can play 36 minutes and take no shots and still be effective. His biggest impact on the game is going to be scoring.
Exactly.
And tonight they didn't need it, but Tobias Harris tends to get lost when he's not scoring the basketball. So to your point, is he going to be able to rebound at that size, play in the power forward position, and do all the intangible things that he's not used to doing?
So Nabil, as everyone likes to say now, if Philly is playing Miami, or if Philly's playing Brooklyn, or if Philly's playing Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Final, Tobias Harris has to be an integral part of it. He has to have solid numbers and not disappear in the series, right?
Yeah.
Thibault, he has to, if defense is your thing, then you have to be that guy in that series where they say, you know what, he's the best defender in that series. And then you can say, Embiid, James Harden, do what you guys do, because now you have enough players or enough others, as across the hall like to say, and now we can take this team.
They're going to be a tough out, man.
Because all these things
because Joel Embiid,
he's a beast.
Dude, he is a beast. And James, and you got 2 guys that need a man and a half attention. So it's going to be so many opportunities for others. And once they figure out where those Tobias Harris and others figure out those opportunities, it's going to be scary if they don't show no fear, man, because they're going to be wide open.
So James Harden, in his first contest with Philly, he goes for 27 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds, and 7 of 12
But
shooting.
Nabil, did you see that first clip? They had 3 Minnesota defenders guarding James Harden and Joel Embiid.
Gonna get a lot of attention.
Look at Danny Green and Tobias Harris standing at the 3-point line. They're wide open. No one's within 8 feet of them.
There's going to be a lot of open shots, right? They're going to spread the floor. A lot of guys are going to have to knock down those shots when they get them.
Look at Thibault. When they ran the high screen and roll with Joel Embiid, he rolled. Thibault standing out there, he could have ate an ice cream cone and still got the ball. It puts so much pressure. Look at that on the weak side. I mean, it just puts so much pressure when you have two guys that one guy cannot guard. And so now you got to commit a man and a half to two men on them. It's going to be open opportunities for Philadelphia 76ers players. They just got to go in the gym 3D. This would be, you would love this.
Ooh.
Just work on your spot shooting, baby. And a guy running at you out of control,
Amen.
pump fake, one dribble to the side, let it fly.
You're getting hungry.
Hungry.
You'd be feasting on that.
Camera two. Come on, Ed. B, get double. You ain't going down double team. Leave it splash.
And that's how he acted when he played, too.
I'm happy. Come on.
Ain't nothing changed.
Come on, go double team
He
Shaq
just
and
memed
Penny.
himself.
I dare
That's
you.
fine.
Nothing
Hey,
has
Sam,
changed.
go double, Sam.
and
Sam
B-
was guarding me. Sam, go double team
I'm
Shaq.
not leaving
Go
you.
double team. Go ahead. Go.
We double Kobe. What he had, 81?
Blue.
That didn't work out so well. Embiid, 34 points, 10 rebounds on the night. This is what he had to say post-game.
All right, Joel, he had 27 points, 12 assists, and 8 rebounds, did James Harden in his debut tonight. What do you think of your new teammates?
Man, you should have seen my face every single time, especially in the fourth. You know, the first 3 quarters, obviously, making plays for all of us. That was probably the most wide open I've ever been in my career. Man, I had a lot of easy baskets. I used to have to work for everything, but in the fourth quarter, the shot making ability, you know, shot creation. Should have seen my face. I was just like, well, we never had this. Nothing close to it. So hopefully that continues. And we didn't even play our best, but I think we can be way better than that.
Well, let me ask you this. When you talk about how he helps you, can you see how James being in the lineup helps the other guys around you as well?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Easy shots after easy shots. You look at, you know, we just got to be winning shooters, which we were tonight. That's what we got to keep doing. But, you know, that's what he does. You know, attract a lot of attention. And when you got 2 guys on the floor that do the same thing in me and him, you know, it becomes a little easier for everybody else. So he's on everybody else to just, you know, make shots.
1-0 with James in the lineup, Joel. Congrats.
Thank you.
Keep smiling.
So, Joel, reiterating what you guys were talking about and just showing earlier, those open shots for teammates that a guy like James Harden can now create. But he also mentioned something really interesting about the fourth quarter, right? We've seen this year, there have been some games that Philly has lost because they haven't had that second option. There's been a lot for Embiid. I mean, they've won a lot of games. But now there's that 1-2 legit option, Sam, that they can go to.
Well, I've seen some games in the past before James Harden got there. Joel Embiid's rolling. Fourth quarter comes, teams start running that double, triple team out. He kicking the ball out, and all of a sudden now the game is tight. Everybody freezes. Now no one wants to take those open threes. Now they're trying to drive and get a better shot, and now all of a sudden you're playing against the shot clock. It's not going to happen now. When they throw it inside to Joel Embiid now, and you double team, you kick it out, not only do you have a guy in James Harden that can make a three or make a play, but James Harden's not afraid of the moment. He will put his head down and get to the basket because of his reputation. He knows there's a good chance if the contact occurs, he's getting to the free throw line. So it changes everything about Philadelphia and their game. It changes how you look at Philadelphia now, because when you trap and double, all of a sudden Danny Green and others in 3D can tell you this. They have become better shooters now because they are going to get looks that they've never gotten before.
No, and it's Nabil, Sam as a coach now can say that when I have my 2 best players on the floor in the fourth quarter, I can have me a slasher and Matisse Thybulle slash to the basket for rebound. Now I got Danny Green in the corner and Maxey. 2 guys I know can finish plays and knock down shots. Or if there's 4 or 5 seconds left in the shot clock, they can catch it and maybe still create or get to the basket and still get a nice shot off. So weak side of the floor now comes more potent now with those guys on the floor.
Tyrese Maxey, 28 points. Interesting you mentioned him because I was thinking about him because he has been running point all season. Now he moves over. It'll be interesting, the adjustment for him, because now he's going to have to spot up and do a lot more shooting. How do you think
It's real simple. I think early in the year when Embiid was messing with him about playing well, scored a couple of games, needed some more assists, I can see he and James Harden saying, young fella, still be you. Because now you can be that third person when, when Tobias Harris is not playing well, now we can use your scoring. So tonight he showed he can do that for the team.
There are going to be times when you need to take the ball out of James' hand. And it's good that you have other people that can handle the rock and do things, because there's going to be situations where in a playoff game, you may love the matchup and you may want to put James Harden on the post. To your point, what Milwaukee did with Drew Holiday against Chris Paul. So you never know how you want to use these guys. That's why it's important. The more ball handlers that you can have on your team come playoff time, the better position you are to win games, because it is hard to play against a team when they swing the ball, they got a guy that can make plays with the ball in his hand like others.
It's going to be fascinating. It is absolutely going to be fascinating, the second half of the season for the Philadelphia 76ers and how it can all come together with Harden and Embiid and the rest of that squad there. All right, we're keeping tabs on the Los Angeles Lakers and Clippers. Luke Kennard